As women, we often undercharge for our services, and we have a really hard time dealing with clients who do not pay us on time. Let's face it, there's nothing worse than chasing a client for payment. It's a waste of time, it damages the relationship, and it puts a kink in our cash flow. In this video, we're going to talk about how you can get paid upfront for your work, whether that's 50%, 75%, or 100%, depending on the type of work that you're doing. Make sure to stay till the end of this video, and I will tell you how you can book a free call to learn more about growing your business. If you're determined to build a successful business, please make sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell. Each week, we'll bring you helpful tips and hints on how to grow and build a thriving, profitable business. Hi, I'm Kirsten with Six Figure Business Coaching, and I'm going to read to you what one of our clients wrote. My first job out of college was working for a collection agency. I hated that job. When I was ready to start my own business, my biggest fear was not getting paid. This held me back for years. And to be honest, I had not even connected my fear with that old job. I attended a workshop on how to start a business that Kirsten and Jeannie taught. One of the topics they covered was pricing, contracts, credit cards, and getting paid up front. I had no idea that was an option. After the workshop, I had the opportunity to work one-on-one with Kirsten. It was in that first conversation that we talked about my fear and where it came from. Who knew? The first job was 20 years ago. I am happy to say I've started my business and getting paid has not been a problem. My monthly clients are on auto pay and my project work pays 75% up front. In some ways, I wish I'd started my business sooner. I cannot change the past, but I'm grateful that I took a chance and went to that workshop. And I'm so grateful for Kirsten and Jeannie. They have helped me every step of the way. Willow K. So Willow is a social media manager and a website designer. So she has two different types of work. Her first work is project work, and that's websites. When Willow does a website, she charges 75% upfront and the remaining 25% when the website is finished. Now for her contract work, which is her monthly social media management, she has those clients on auto pay. So each month they're automatically billed for their set amount of money based on the work that she does. So for an example, she does Facebook marketing and she also does Instagram marketing for one of her clients and she charges $400 a month. So each month that's automatically billed to their credit card and she's paid without the need to invoice them. Isn't that just fantastic? When it comes to getting paid, whether that's upfront or a percentage or even working off of a retainer fee, the first thing you want to do in your business is set up your payment policy. This is going to define how you get paid and when you get paid. It's also going to be really important that you feel confident about this payment policy and that you feel like you can explain it to your customers very clearly and defend it. In other words, if they have objections or questions, that you really understand how to cover those objections and make it very clear that this is how you do business. I found in the past that clients who want to negotiate how you work are usually not great clients to deal with. If they start off the relationship questioning everything you do or not wanting to participate in the way you normally bill your clients, it's a red flag. Create a payment policy that you're very confident with and that you feel very comfortable explaining to your customers, and then stick to those policies. Now that you have a clear payment policy in place, it's important to use proposals and contracts. It's one thing to communicate your payment policy with your clients. It's another thing to put it in writing and have them sign it and agree to it. So we really recommend that you use contracts. If you're doing project work, the client may say, well, send me a proposal. So you put together the proposal, you send that over to the client. It defines the scope of work, what you're charging, and how you get paid. So if you're getting paid up front, or you're taking a retainer fee, or you're getting partial payment up front, all of that will be laid out in your proposal. If they agree to the proposal, the next step is to send them a contract, because we want to get them to sign that contract agreeing to the proposal terms. Now, I know a lot of small businesses shy away from using contracts. And part of that fear is just because you don't know how to do a contract or where to get a contract, or you're afraid that it's going to be too expensive to get a contract. And I completely understand that. So over the years, we've had clients, they've hired local attorneys to do their contracts, which is probably the best way to go. Some of our clients have worked with LegalZoom to have their contracts done using that service. Others have used Legal Shield to create their contracts. And last but not least, some of our clients have written their contracts on their own. Now, it is entirely up to you because it's your business with how you choose to create your contracts. I just highly recommend that you do create a contract, you practice going over the contract and explaining the contract and the terms of the contract so that when you are dealing with a client, again, you're very confident explaining all of your payment policies. And most of those will be defined in that written contract. Please leave us a comment below and let us know if you're using a contract, and if so, who did your contract? Did you do it yourself, hire a local attorney, or use an online service? We're always interested in learning how you're running your business. Next, I want to talk about retainer fees, and I want to go a little bit more into detail about automatic payment processing. So first of all, when you think about a retainer fee, you think about a lawyer. A lawyer takes a retainer fee and then they bill hours against that retainer fee. They also take away expenses. If they're making copies for you or they're overnighting documents to someone, they pull that out of your retainer. We work with a lot of interior designers who also use retainers, and we see very clearly that there are two different ways they do this. Some of them use the retainer just against items purchased. So in other words, if they're buying a sofa or a flower arrangement or artwork, they deduct that from the retainer. Some of them actually also use it for labor. So they're taking labor against the retainer as well. We work with several interior designers who also work with retainer fees. Now they do this in two different ways. The first way is they just use the retainer for buying items. Like they're going to buy a sofa or artwork. They take that out of the retainer. And then they bill separately for labor. So in other words, the retainer is just for items purchased and labor is billed separately. Now we have other designers who use the retainer for labor and items purchased. There's no right or wrong way. You just have to make sure you're very clear in your contract how you're going to use the retainer. Now I want to go back to talking about getting paid up front and also automatic bill pay. One of the big mistakes we see a lot of small business owners make is they don't want to take credit cards because of the fee. And I get that. You're trying to get every penny in the door and you hate wasting money on those credit card fees. However, if you want to get paid up front, one of the key factors is going to be accepting credit cards. Now, we use two different services. We use PayPal and we use Stripe. Both of these services can be used to take a retainer fee, a deposit on your work. So for example, 75% of a website done, or you can set up automatic invoicing and bill pay. So in other words, the client gets charged each month the same amount of money for the work that you do consistently for them. So whether you decide to take a percentage of your money up front as a deposit, do automatic monthly recurring billing, or you decide to use a retainer fee, it's just really important to let the client know all the terms of the agreement and then to make sure that you're doing the work in a timely fashion in meeting the scope of work that you promised. The other thing is we have heard repeatedly that clients love this. I know that when we switched to automatic billing with our one-on-one coaching clients, we got great feedback. It made it super easy for them. They knew what day of the month the payment was going to come out. They didn't have to think about it. It was just one less thing that they had to do. So these types of things, although they're benefiting us and our businesses, it's also making our clients' lives easier. And that's really important. So taking credit cards, using contracts, using retainer fees, all of these things have huge benefits for your customers. It's just a matter of you positioning it correctly and feeling confident explaining it. Well, I hope this was helpful, and I hope you have a lot of success getting paid up front and never have to chase a client again for payment. If you found this video helpful, please give us a like, subscribe to our channel, and ring the bell to get notified each week when we post new videos. And if you'd like to learn more about growing your business, in the description below is a link where you can book a call with us. We'd love to talk with you, learn more about you and your business. So until I talk to you or see you on the next video, dream big.